All right, let's see if we get the stream going here. Unfortunately, Discord did not work. Not sure why. The mic, everything was good on my end, but yeah, apparently people were saying the mics didn't work. So we're back here. Actually, I was hoping to make this an exclusive event for people that are truly serious about trading, but here we are on YouTube. Not saying you guys on YouTube that watch for free are not serious about your trading. I kind of just wanted to keep this bit more of an exclusive meeting, but here it is now. So you're welcome. For those that can't make it today, you'll be able to rewatch the stream here. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we'll wait for a few more minutes. I'm gonna see until we get like maybe 5 or 10 people on here, and then I'm gonna go straight into what we're gonna be talking about today. So let's see. And I'm gonna send the stream link to everybody else as well right now. So hold up, give me a second, y'all. Should be able to see everything though. I'm gonna delete some messages because the chat is crowded. I know the thumbnail says live trading. I'm gonna change that real quick. Hold on. No, obviously not trying to make misleading content here. So let me change that thumbnail real quick, and we'll get straight into what I'm gonna talk about today with y'all. I gotta fix this thumbnail. You guys should be able to see. Let me know if you guys can see the monitor board and hear my mic. Just want to test to make sure nothing funky is going on just my end today. No, we're starting a little bit late today, but give you guys some more opportunities to join today's meeting. All right, we got 5 people in the chat right now. What's popping, y'all? I'm gonna put the link to the free Discord if you want to join the free Discord in the meantime, while we wait for a few more people. Yes, this is basically going to be recorded for those that couldn't make it to today's meeting, since obviously it's on YouTube. Duh. Someone sent me a friend request. Hold on. Moving meeting over to YouTube live stream since Discord are not working. All right. Kind of a last minute thing, but we do with what we got. All right. How'd y'all's week go? Anyone do anything fun? I know it's Saturday, but been a long day. Gonna be going over with y'all this week the trades we took with my strategy. I think it will be a very good video today. Originally, yes, this was supposed to be an exclusive event for just the Discord members, but again, we gotta do what we can with what we got here. So let me zoom out real quick. Okay, that should be good before we expose anything, which I'm gonna talk about later at the very end. Let's run up a poll here while we wait for a few more people. Let's see, what question do I ask y'all today? Instead of asking you guys how'd your week end, green or red, I want to see how many people are here are profitable consistently. I'm obviously gonna assume majority of people are unprofitable, hence why you're joining here. Some people might be profitable and joining just for fun, just for the fun of it. So let's do a quick poll here. How many of y'all are you consistent? Are you currently profitable? I'd say if you're a profitable trader, I know people with different horizons. If you have a green month, that's pretty solid. So if you had a green month so far this month, vote yes. We'll just use that as the baseline, okay? People have different definitions of profitable. Obviously, that does not mean full-time. It's just 1 month. But if you take a lot of trades in that month and you come out green, it's a pretty good sign. So vote, guys, yes or no. Are you currently a profitable trader? If you so far this month are green, vote yes. If you ended this month so far, you're red, vote no. Get some votes in. We got 1 vote in. In terms of my trading though, this week, definitely last week was better. So last week's trading was definitely better than this week. But we came out green this week nonetheless. So it's good to go over this week. It was like 1 or 2 days where I was kind of counter trending, hence why the -2. But it's good to recognize when you are counter trending, you can stop yourself before you do too much damage. I think I'm just getting rid of the stream overlays too. It's a bit too much here. So yeah, let me get rid of that real quick, guys. I'm gonna remove the stream overlays so you guys can see everything, and then going to move my webcam down. Okay, that should be much better instead of having everything on the screen. Do you guys agree? And okay, should be good. All right, let's just get straight into this. All right, I know it's the weekend. Not everyone's gonna be available for some reason. So for those that are here, I respect the grind. All right, let's get straight into it. So this week is our 22 risk reward week. Okay, that's what I ended up with this week. Last week we made 43 risk reward. So this week, like I said, was not as good as last week. And just something to keep in mind first, before I get into each individual trade first, is that not every week is going to be the same. There's 2 reasons there that are listed here. So you feel free to read those, but let's go over the trades. So this week, it was just Monday where I traded gold in ES. So every other day here is basically just trading ES only. Last week, I did also trade a lot of gold. So that probably makes up why I also was up 43 last week instead of 22 this week. But let's go over the Monday trade. So on Monday, July 14th, you guys can go in your chart if you want. I think a good practice for today's lesson is that you guys compare your trades that you specifically took with the exact trades I took. This way, even if you're trading, I don't care what system or strategy you trade, as long as it's profitable, but compare my trades with your trades and see how you can maybe improve your trades. Or, you know, if you won the day, great, you took the same trade, awesome. So on this day, this is a very easy continuation day. I missed the initial long here with my OB entry model. So there was, let me go in, what am I doing? Let me go in presentation mode. Actually, no, I am in presentation mode. All right, so yeah, so let's see. Okay, so there's many entries on this day. If you just go on your chart, if you want, my target really was the 15-minute supply here above, hence why I was bullish this entire day. So there was an entry, so 9:30 was here. So open was around here. I don't like to take trades right at open unless it's a really good setup, which there is no setup here that is an A+ setup. This would be a counter trend setup. So yes, my strategy here, you could have got like a 2 or 3 risk reward short here, targeting the origin here. But I did not take that. It's counter trend, it's less likely to happen. doesn't mean it won't happen, right? Probabilities. Now, you had multiple ways of entering on this day. So you had a long opportunity using my OB entry model here. I would not be using an IFG entry model here because the range is very small. You can see you can use the counting candle method that I teach you guys in the course, but the range is very small. And if you're entering here off an IFG, it's just not a good entry price because price is basically almost at that internal swing high, which is where you would be break even or TP, but the risk reward is very bad. So I would not be taking that. In small ranges, use limit orders. So you can have a limit set at this OB entry model, and you can get like a nice 3 risk reward here on the first long. I just missed this trade on this day. Came back to mitigate the origin again. So our structure is like this. And I took the OB entry model here. So my limit order is there, my stop loss right below lows. And then I went for a 4 risk reward because my TP was slightly above the high since we are bullish. So that is how I traded this day. All right. So there's multiple ways of entering on this day. What the heck? Whoops. There's multiple ways of entering on this day here, but that was probably, these were the 2 best trades. So this long initially with my entry model, and then the second long here for 4 risk reward. Looking back, you can also target the 15-minute supply, which is my draw, because I'm anticipating price should go towards the 15-minute. But if you think about it from this perspective, let's say you took a long here, you might actually get stopped out almost at break even here if you were just looking for that 15-minute. Hence why sometimes you just want to be careful with your TPs, because you can expect every time we take out a swing high, you can expect a retracement, a mitigation cycle, whatever you want to call that. And that could stop you out at break even if you manage to break even. But for these continuation model trades, with my continuation model, I tend to like to set and forget my trades and just let it run because I have high conviction in my draw and liquidity and the trend is bullish. Just trade with the trend, guys. Too many of you guys are looking to the left and trying to count trend. It's not a good idea. Just trade with the current order flow, which is bullish, right? And then basically we hit 15-minute supply. You could have taken a nice short scalp here using my IFG scalping strategy. And you could TP at its internal low here if you like, or you take the OB entry model here, and then you can TP at this new low here. You can also use a stop hunter here, enter here, stop loss below here, target the high here because we're bullish. So these supply zones are less likely to hold if we are bullish. And my daily bias indicator was another factor you can use as a confluence into this trade, right? If my daily bias indicator is telling you bullish, there's a 10 to 15% chance or increase in your win rate from my statistical backtesting. So there's that. Everything was in line here. You could have took a stop hunter setup here going long. I forgot on this day exactly why I stopped trading here, but I stopped. So it's just a 4 risk reward trade on this day. So again, if you have any questions, you can feel free to put them in the, just put them in the stream chat. Maybe next time I'll create like an anonymous poll, but for now, just put them in the stream chat. Otherwise, we continue here. So this is a very straightforward day. I'd say if I was to rate the price action on this day, I'd rate it like an A. Its price is respecting structure very nicely on this day. We don't have crazy chop. It's not the biggest ranges, honestly, but it gives you a good risk reward. So I'm willing to take the trades if they're a good, solid risk reward. Most times I don't take one-to-ones, so that is something not as common. Now, let's move on to the next trade. So we got 2 Minecraft golden ingots here. Okay, enough of that. So obviously, clearly means these are trades that I took on gold at market open. This first one here is just off a 1 hour demand setup. Okay, and I believe gold was bullish at this time. So on the higher time frame, this is a pro trend trade. Where's my entry here? You had there's a very nice OB entry model here where you can just scalp or TP at this PY here as a flip. If you don't want to take that, or if you missed this trade, I don't remember exactly why I did not take this trade or missed it on this day. There's days where my trading, for those that get to the point where you are full-time trading like me, you realize you have a lot of time freedom, and with time freedom comes a lot of flexibility in your schedule. So there's times where I will trade like very late in London session and then wake up late for New York session. So I don't remember exactly what happened on this day, but I missed the initial entry here. So I waited for another setup, right? Just be patient when you miss the entries. Don't try to FOMO and chase unless you have an actual valid setup. So the next setup here really is just this origin. So we got an origin here, and I just wait for my OB entry model. I took it for forward source, stop loss right below lows. And where's my TP? It's just at the flip here. You have a lot of places to potentially TP in this leg of structure. Just make sure you're drawing your 50% level. I saw a nice flip right above the 50%, or sorry, right above the 50% in premium. And also another confluence is that you have these highs as liquidity. This is not inducement. We did not make a new low, but this can count as your liquidity. So there's a chance we could have a nice big reversal before going higher if that's our draw. Therefore, I like to TP here, and you can take shorts here. But on this day, I held this trade pretty late. Honestly, 1:30 p.m. is not ideal trading times for me. Again, I'll re-emphasize this one more time, but from my statistical back testing, your time that you trade, your kill zone time, it doesn't matter too much. Okay, I know a lot of ICT gurus try to preach time over price. It's just not true. Unless you can find a statistical reason, like I say all the time, show me the data. Otherwise, this is not true. Okay, so don't try to believe everything you see on the internet. Make sure everything that you are believing or trading or making concepts off of actually happen and occur in the market, and make sure you're doing your own hard work and testing. Otherwise, there's a reason why a lot of people fail in trading too. You just blindly copy someone's trades or believe that someone's profitable or someone's trading strategy profitable without even back testing. This is why I tell you guys all the time, even everyone that gets my course, the 100 course, gets a one-on-one mentorship, gets indicators, back test, learn the course content, go through the one-on-one private weekly 1 hour calls, make refinements to your system, and go back test. I don't want you guys to go straight into live trading. Okay, no matter how much belief you have in me, you need to back test for the purpose of yourself. This is purely just for yourself. And the reason why is because in live trading, you realize psychology is a big factor, and you need to be confident. If you're not confident in your setups when you live trade, it's going to cause you a ton of emotional damage and issues. And some people even get traumatized from trading. Unfortunately, you don't want to be that guy. Trying to help you guys here save a lot of time in your trading journey. So remember, please, no matter who you learn from, no matter how credible this person is, whether it's me or someone else, please go back test before you trade something live. I don't want you guys losing money because you're trading something that has no edge. You can have a green day. You have 2 consecutive green days, but that does not mean the strategy works at all. Okay. For example, my strategy, I'll show you guys later here. I think I had 2 back-to-back red days. Yeah, I had a -2 and a -1. Very small red days. Keep in mind. Look at my green days, look at my red days. Very small red days. But again, you need to judge over a long period of time. Don't judge off 1 or 2 trades or 1 or 2 days. So this should be fairly obvious why I took this continuation here and instead of taking shorts, right? So in my setup, I would never take shorts here. These are where some people might take them in their setups, but I like to take high quality continuations. So this, right? This is why I also don't take shorts here. Unless you want to scalp, otherwise not taking shorts there. Moving on, the next day. Or sorry, same day. This is all July 14th. Made 17 risk reward. We had 4 winners and just 1 loser. The loser is going to be down here. So let's check this out. So this is ADA session on gold. Remember, gold moves nicely in ADA session. Don't skip out on gold if you want to trade ADA session. I'd rather you guys trade gold than indices are in Asia. So when I came out to the charts here, price already had 2 failures. So that's the first thing I noticed here. We hit a PY, we filled this imbalance here, and we already had 2 failures. The first failure is here. The second failure is actually here. You can see we took out a session low, session-based liquidity. So we failed twice to go higher. So we failed, this is stop loss 1, this is stop loss 2. I'm using my failure PY strategy I teach in the course, and therefore I'm expecting bearish price action now. We failed twice. What did I see? I saw trend liquidity here. This is a PY, so I will be careful here when you're trading because this is still unmitigated. Therefore, we could not take out this high. We could actually just take out this high. So this is where you want to be careful with your trading. But essentially here, you can count this as inducement. This is your PY, or you count all this as trend liquidity. Whatever you want. I'm waiting for a reaction in the market, give me confirmation. I took my OB entry model here for 3 risk reward. I could have had aggressive stop loss here for 6, 7, 8 risk reward, but I didn't mind the 3 risk reward here. Took it here. You can see literally no drawdown with my strategy. And what I really love about the strategy I teach you guys in the course mentorship really is just the preciseness of my entries, because the drawdown, right? Not too much drawdown. So you see we immediately reacted as soon as I entered my trade here. And then the targets, you could ideally target a low. I was okay with targeting this POI because it's pretty close to the low, in case some funky stuff goes on. But for the most part, my draw was lower because I saw this as a low. This low here made this pre-stay high, and we had a POI on the left, right below. So liquidity sweep into a POI is an A+. So once we got that, I took my longs here off the OB entry model. It's okay. And I took a loss here, you know. Again, telling you guys, I don't win every trade. You shouldn't expect yourself to win every trade. It's just not a thing. We're here to do what I like to call this. I honestly like to refer to trading to calculated gambling. I am the casino. So when I trade, I know I am the casino because I have an edge over the house. So I'm the casino here. You don't want to be the player. You want to be the casino. And in order to be the casino, you need to have a strategy that works. Otherwise, you're just going to burn money. And I don't know, offense to you guys that are still unprofitable, but if you don't have backtesting data or a strategy that works with an edge that is repeatable, also over the long run, you're just wasting your time and money. So stop doing that. Get right with the strategy, learn the ins and outs of it, backtest, go live, boom, profitability. So here is the -1. I had aggressive stop loss. Ideally, your stop loss is here, but you can see the risk reward is going to be cut in half here. So I wasn't a big fan of that. Now I got my internal stop hunter set up here with an OB entry model. You don't need to have the OB entry model at this point because this is just another way to re-enter my trade. But I waited for more confirmation here just in case. And I got a 7 risk reward with an OB entry model. Where's my TP? Right here. So there's a small unmitigated PY. If you don't see this, use my ETU indicator package. There's a reason why I made the indicators. It wasn't for you guys at first. It was all for me, for my own trading. That's why I built this entire indicator package. It was to help my own trading, because I noticed when I was live trading, I'd miss certain small details like this. No matter how small this gap is, I care about it. So because price reacts to these gaps. So that's why I have the indicators built. And later on, of course, people ask me, yo, what indicator is this? What indicator are you using? That's when I was like, all right, fine. If you want to get access, you can get access now and try them out on the WAP. So if you're interested in indicators, you can check out the WAP link. I'll post it here actually right now while you guys are going through this mastermind here, whatever you want to call this meeting. And to make sure to leave a like. We got 2 likes on the stream so far. We got 6 people watching. So I'm trying to deliver as much educational value here as possible on YouTube for free without giving much off or much away from the course. So this is 7 risk reward. I'm very satisfied with the risk reward. Less price later band 14 risk reward, but that's okay. This is something I journal and look back on and see if there's ways and things that spot in the higher time frame that will help me hold these trades for further. Otherwise, good trade. Not much else to this trade. Okay. So 4 wins and 1 loss on July 14th. Now, let's go to July 15th. This was the rough day where I was kind of trending. Okay. We just kept making lower highs, lower lows internally. At this point, I probably should have stopped. I took this loss here. And then I think we hit high time frame supply on the left here. I'm pretty certain that's what happened here. Or we took out external high on the left. That's why we dumped on this day, and that's okay. And my daily bias indicator was also pointing bearish. So I basically went against a lot of confluences. This is a technical mistake here on this day, right? I knew the probabilities were not in my favor with the daily bias and everything, but I still took it because I wanted to take a trade. And you know, you're always gonna make emotional decisions or mistakes, unfortunately, no matter how far you are into your trading journey. Even after years and years of trading like me, profitable, you're still gonna be prone to human mistakes. It's just a part of the game. I think as long as you have a strong edge, you bounce back from it, right? This is only a -2 hour day. This could have been real bad. This day, if I just kept on counter trending, this could have ended badly, right? So I took this entry here. At this point, this should have been a break even. So there was some psychology stuff going on here where I really want to end the day green. Again, that's an emotional thing I need to fix. Not fix, but try to limit as much as possible. So emotional trade here, messed up. And so this should have been just a -1 day, but it's a -2, which is okay because I know my average green days are +5, +6, +7, +8 risk reward, sometimes +17, for example, on Monday, where I trade 2 assets and can cash the expansion move. That's what I'm looking for, right? And I missed the shorts earlier in this day too, because 9:30 open is here, and there was not really a good entry except for here, but I missed that one. So nothing much I can do there. I'm not going to FOMO randomly in the middle of nowhere because there's no edge there in FOMOing. Yes, you can maybe catch 1 or 2 winning trades, but over the long run, you're going to lose. So you don't want to be losing. Here is just 3 forward tests. So these are not trades I took live. These are just forward tests my strategy. I would have took another loss here, but we had S&T with NQ, so NQ held this internal low. And I would have taken off the IFG setup for risk reward my strategy, taking out inducement, tapping to the origin, and taking a continuation with my OB and Jamal going lower for a total risk reward. So looking back this day, yes, if I kept trading throughout the day, I would have made, what is this, 16, 15, 14, 13. This would have been a 13R a day instead of a -2, but that's okay. You know, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to take each and every single setup and be on the chart the entire time. The only way you can really take every single potential setup, that even if it's a bad or a good setup, is if you're on the chart 24/7. That's just not how I like to live. I like my free time. I like to chill once I'm done trading. But just remember, when you're trading, focus on just trading. Okay, so when you're trading, I'll repeat myself again. When you're trading, just focus on your trading. Nothing else. Keep your emotions in check. Make sure you're not going against the trend like what I did on this day. Even my daily bias was pointing bearish. A lot of things I was going against on this day. So that's a -2 day. So at this point, I was up 15 risk reward in just 2 trading days. Next day. This was very unfortunate. So I remember this day, July 16th on Wednesday. Again, these trades are on ES, by the way, guys. We had Trump news. Yeah, nothing much to say here. This is a really good setup here to take continuations to the upside. Only reason why I failed is because of Trump. So I high believe that if Trump did not announce what he said, we would have went straight to TP here for like 7 risk reward. Or I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 5 to 6 risk reward here for the highs. But because of Trump and the fundamentals that came with that, of what he said, everyone was selling here. So if you don't understand what I'm trying to say, go on financial juice. Trump basically said he was basically threatening that he's going to fire Powell, Jerome Powell. If you don't know who Jerome Powell is, tough luck, man. You're probably new to trading. So yeah, FOMC, all that. You got to go through some devious times to know who Jerome Powell is. Sometimes he'll be on your side, other times he won't. In this case, this has nothing to do with him. This was something Trump said. This is, I think, the 2nd or 3rd time that Trump talked or said a bold statement while I was in a trade that went against me. What can I do? Nothing much. So I took a -1 here. Yeah, Trump was playing a firing Powell, so look what happens. Systematically, from a technical standpoint, the strategy still works. It just happens. So the probabilities of the supply holding here increased heavily because everyone was scared, right? This is bearish news. This is not good news that Trump's firing Powell, right? This is going to cause a lot of commotion in the market. Fundamentally, people are going to sell. I do not believe someone's hitting the manual button. This is just probably insider trading. I have no evidence of that, but this is a 5-second candle. So if you go to the 5-second chart on this day, if you have TradingView Premium, if you don't, you won't be able to see it. But this entire drop here was basically like 2 5-second candles. Okay. And so this is exactly, look at the time. As the exact second Trump tweeted, or he didn't tweet, he said that he was going to fire Powell, this happened. So I was away in the charts here because I entered my trade. And this is a set and forget trade. I didn't manage to break even here because this is a really good setup. As soon as I came back, basically I got a notification. My stop got hit. I was like, what just happened? And I looked and yeah, I don't know what to say. This happened, man. It just straightly, completely dumped to stop loss. So this day, no technicals wrong here. So my technicals was 100% on point to this day. Fundamental news cooked us. And you can see we came back, did an OB entry model mitigation, and then we continued low. We're all ready for a London session low, which is a very, very big low on the far left. And this is just someone thing driven on by fundamentals. And my daily bias was bearish too. So I was going against my indicator, which has a higher success rate than it be. So it's more right than wrong. And of course, the news messed up the trade. This is not financial news as in economic releases. This is not something you can anticipate. This is something you just need to know will happen in the market no matter what happens. If we have a black swan event, if you guys have traded during black swan events, you'll know people will lose a lot of money. You may wonder, what do you mean you lose a lot of money? Don't forget, I'm not trading on prop accounts all the time. I'm trading on a personal account. So on a personal live account, my order is getting filled towards the actual market as liquidity. So on this trade, unfortunately, on the chart, I lost -1, but on the actual trade, I lost almost double on this trade because I got slipped. So instead of getting, if you don't know what slip means, if you're on a live account, you experience this when we have massive candles like this. It just means, so market makers their goal is to fill your orders, right? In and out. There's just such a huge spike of liquidity here that instead of getting filled at my stop loss price, I got filled like here. And so I almost doubled my loss here on this day, unfortunately. So nothing I can do here, got slipped. You won't get slipped, I think, if you're on a prop firm, but since that's demo environment. But if you're on a live personal account, this is something I think you guys can take away, right? Just keep in mind when you're trading live personals, always have a stop loss no matter what when you're trading live personal account. I'm lucky on this day that well, not even lucky, but I'm just saying, like, if there's a black swan event and let's say you just get one massive 5-second candle like this, I can lose 5 to 6 to 7 times my original risk, which to me, it's not a huge deal because I made 17 risk reward earlier, but to a lot of other trading systems, that's a lot. And you never know how much you could truly lose. So really, really want to be careful when you're trading live personal account, because a lot of people are too used to trading prop firms where you're trading demo accounts, okay? No one cares about your demo accounts. No one's going for a stop loss or liquidity on demo accounts. It doesn't matter. So that's what happened here. One more thing I want to mention in terms of trading is also diversification, right? You don't want to have 100% of your net worth in your trading personal account. I don't. I think you should diversify. That's the number one rule of finance. No matter if you're short-term day trading like me, long-term investing, any type of investing, please just stick to what the pros do and have diversification. That's like economics 101. Just diversify your money in case something happens. You just never know. I've never lost an entire account on one single trade, like a black swan event, but you just never know if that could happen. That's why periodically I will withdraw money from my personal account. All right. So I'm not keeping everything in there for specific reasons like this. So there's that. Now let's move on to, am I missing anything here? I'm not. Okay, cool. So a quick little live trading count lesson there. Thursday, July 17th, 6 risk reward. On this day, I took a count trend and a pro trend. Look at this day. You see how price delivered on this day? It's pretty similar to how price delivered on this day. You can see it's just a very easy continuation model. So if you just trade my continuation model I teach you guys, this is very easy to end green. You wait, basically for the count trend trade, I waited for manipulation to occur first. I had a 30-second OB entry model. I missed it, and then so I waited for entry confirmation again. I took it here, stop loss covering the 30 seconds prior to mitigation kind of, and then basically TP'd at the POC. Once we mitigate the POC, I'm looking for longs. Okay, and then I took this is a stop hunter here that you could have taken longs off of. I basically did the same thing here as, where is it? This day. You can see it's the same setup here. Stop hunter into an OB. You don't have to wait for the OB. It's just more confirmation. That's up to you. Took this for 3 risk reward. And again, I missed out on double my risk reward on this day. Like usual, I think this is the day we made all-time highs. Because I remember I caught out all-time highs on one of these days. It could have been Monday. It was either Monday or Thursday that I called out to the Discord for the course members that we were looking for all-time highs. So yeah, I personally didn't go for target all-time highs. Otherwise, I would have made a lot more, but it's okay. Can't be perfect in the market, right? This is the second break as well, so I was more careful on that. And we later hit the 30-minute, and I was kind of done. Now, you can still take a lot of setups with my strategy here, and you can make a lot more money here, but it's lower probability in terms of the win rate. I like to take the higher probability setups when we have a cleaner range like this instead of something like this. So yeah, that was Thursday, July 6th, 17th. For 6 risk reward, just back-to-back winners. Again, it's just my continuation model. It's very simple to learn and very easy to implement and back test. It's like you can see, it's literally the same thing here. Exact same thing. Except this day I just took a counter trend setup and then into a mitigation phase of a continuation. I think we have questions in the stream. I'm going to answer real quick before I get back into the lecture. Again, if you guys want to join the free Discord, you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I know a lot of you guys don't have notification bell and you guys keep complaining saying you miss these streams. Well, guess what? YouTube has a notification bell for a reason. You guys just don't click it or miss it. So click on that notification bell once you subscribe to the channel so you get notified of these streams I do weekly on here for free. I got a Discord DM. Give me 1 second. Okay. Stampede. Hey, what's up? Hey, man, I see you had a good week. Yeah, had a solid week. Wasn't as good as last week, but it was a good week nonetheless. Good old Trump dump market. I mean, yeah, anything could happen when Trump is speaking, dump or pump. So yeah, can't do much there. I'm okay with this. It's fine. Now let's go back. Let's finally end off. This should be the last day. Yeah, it is. Friday, July 18th. So far for the poll, if you guys have not voted, vote in the poll. Currently you have 4 votes. 2 people are 50% of you guys said you're currently a profitable trader. The other 50% said you're not. So that's a pretty good ratio, man. Pretty good ratio. 50-50, much better than 90-10. So the YouTube videos must be helping or the course must be helping. No clue if you're those that voted yes or in the course or not. If you just joined or found the YouTube channel. But glad to see you guys are progressing in your trading because I asked the same question a year ago to check in on you guys. So you see how you guys are doing if you're still stuck in with trading. So yeah, let's go to Friday, July 18th. So this was unfortunately a very long trade. It was a -1 QM expectation. The only problem here was I could not tell if we mitigated the 1 hour or not here. If we did, yes, for sure, I would not be taking this short, but I cannot tell here. So I was guessing this might not have hit to the tick because it should hit to the tick. So it did not. And so I was anticipating us to actually mitigate that 1 hour. So this is kind of what happened on this trade. Yes, it ran 3 risk reward here. Some people may ask, why didn't I TP here at the stop hunter internal low? It made that new high. Because I like to stick to my system here and I like to go for a bigger RR. So I trade high risk reward for those that are new here. I don't like scalping too often unless it's a low probability setup. At that point, if it's a low probability setup, I probably would just not even take it anyway. I like to have a good balance of your win rate and risk reward. So I took a -1 here. Ideally, I told you guys there's multiple times where you could have went break even, right? You could have most definitely went break even here. But yeah, hit me out -1. I'm okay. This one broke even basically here. Ignore the TP. I was just looking at how much it ran before it hit break even, but my TP was the same at the lows. And this was 330. So this was an emotional mistake I made. And I know that volatility is going to be very low at this point. We're already chopping up. I probably should be scalping this, but I got greedy. So it hit me out break even. Here's the trade that carried on this day. We had a 3 risk reward here. I actually even posted to the course members chat. Again, if you're not in the course, highly recommend you get it. You get access to so many features in the Discord, not just the course itself. You got access to a lot of live help from me. I said to everyone at 10:06, I'm seeing a lot more downside today than upside. We already took out 4-hour high yesterday, and we will either have a 4-hour manipulation down or a retracement back to 50%. So that's what I was seeing, hence why, took shorts and why I was bearish basically the entire day. That's why I also took shorts down here. Unless we hit the 1 hour, which again, like I said, explain the reason why I was still looking for shorts there. This could be just a unfortunate situation in pricing, but that's okay. So yeah, straightforward. This is just a 3 risk reward short. Okay. You can take a stop hunter if you want to. It's up to you how you want to take this. You have an IPG, a stop hunter, multiple different ways to take this short here. And then my TP was basically, if you look to the right or to the left here, you can't see on the screenshot here, but there's a PY right below slow. I TP'd there. And why did I not take these longs? Remember guys, follow my draw and liquidity and bias to tell you guys. My bias and draw and liquidity is like 70 to 80% accurate every time I send out to the Discord. If you want to get access to Discord, you have to get access to the course. It's a free bonus basically that you get. But that's why I was not taking longs here. There's probably taking longs and longs here and just taking stop losses. Okay, so that's why I was not taking longs. So remember, you don't want to be spamming entry models everywhere. No matter how good your entry model is, it's not going to work. So this was Friday, July 18th. And again, my daily bias indicator was pointing bearish. So you should be looking for shorts. If you don't have access to the daily bias indicator, you can check it out on the WAP. But yeah, you can see the daily bias is pretty accurate a lot of times. Monday was bullish. This day, Tuesday, it said bearish. We indeed have a bearish day. I went against the trend. Went against the trend here again for bearish. Thursday, I played both sides because we had a nice range. And Friday, played it with the trend. Then P said, you also take trades at the 5-minute PYs or just with high time frame confluences. There's a lot of contextual reasons to when you pick. I go over when you pick which PY. So there's specific times when you pick the high time frame PYs and specific times you only want to take the low time. Oh, sorry, vice versa. There's times where you only want to take low time frame PYs and there's other times where you do not want to take lower time frame PYs and only want to take high time frame or you're going to lose a lot. So yeah. Overall, so we're 40 minutes into the meeting here, guys. Overall stats for the week is 58% win rate. You can feel free to double check me on this if you want to add up the numbers, but from what I did with some quick math, it was 48% or 58%. Plug into my EV calculator for those that want to know what the EV is for that. For this week of us trading, the risk reward was a 3.5 average, which is pretty good. It's basically, this is very close to my bad testing and my data from my live stream from last month. Last month it was about 60 to 65% win rate, and the risk reward is similar to this. So pretty close. It's just that we didn't take as many trades this week because I only traded really ES for the most part, except for one day where I traded gold. Let me count how many trades we took this week. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so not a lot of trades. Only 12 trades. That's about 2 trades a day, which makes sense. That's my average from my back testing as well. 2 trades a day on one asset. If you trade 2 sessions, you double that for the most part. It's the easiest way to double it. I know you're not going to get the same number of setups probably during other sessions, but it's an easy way to quickly figure that out roughly. And then, of course, if you're trading 2 assets, you double it again. But the EV is a 1.6. Very good EV. Okay, and you guys know I highly preach and teach you guys that you want to look for an EV that's at least 0.40 after commissions and spread, because at the end of the day, don't just trade prop firms. Please transition to a live personal account. You just never know what happens with these prop firms. You can get banned like me. They'll ban you if you make too many payouts. There's a lot of reasons for ban reasons. Some people also get banned, falsely banned for very stupid reasons. That's a whole different topic I'm not going to dig into because today's focus is giving you guys some education on how I traded this week and how you can compare your trades to trades I took. And what was this one trade? Was it this one? Yeah, so I think it was this long. It was one of the longs that I called out to the Discord live. So if you're in the Discord members, I saw some of you guys post your profits and caught the same long. I think it was this 4 risk reward long that I was looking at to the Discord. I told everyone live that we were looking for this long here because this was like a really good setup. I'd say like the best setup of this week is probably that long, or no, sorry, this would be the best setup because it's the best risk reward potential, but this is very late in the day, so not ideal. The reason why, I forgot to elaborate last time when I was talking about kill zones, but the main reason why I like to trade inside kill zones is because of liquidity and time. And when I say time, I'm not talking about ICT BS, okay? I'm talking about time as in the time it takes for you to hit your TPs. Statistically, my trades hit TP much faster when I'm in the kill zone, which makes sense, right? Higher volatility, more volume. Price moves faster than outside of kill zone where price could really chop up and take a long time. Like this one wasn't too bad, but you can obviously see there's a lot more chop, right? Towards the end of the day. I don't really like to be in trades for that long. I'm a fan of, I like to be someone that's quick in and out of the market, but also make high risk reward. That's why I don't scalp, but I like to also intraday trade and not swing trade. But I do teach a swing trading strategy in the course if you don't have the time to day trade. If you're curious about the bad testing stats of the swing trading strategy, it's about a 43% win rate. So it's slightly lower than my intraday strategy that I teach you guys in the course in there. But the risk reward is higher because you're swinging for basically expansion every time. So you're just taking pro trend trades and the risk reward average is 6. So it's a very killer system, and you can really just basically make a side income with the swing trading strategy teaching the course because you don't need too much active trading time. Majority of the entries are just off pure limit orders and just having alerts set at specific levels that I teach you guys to use, and literally just wait and have a limit order there. That's it. Let's see if there's anything else I want to go over. Oh yeah, in terms of liquidity, right? So it's less likely to get slipped inside kill zones than outside kill zones. This is a outlier day, obviously because of what happened here. There must have been some liquidity issue for sure going on there because the drop just happened so fast. The market makers are going to take a while to fill everyone's order. It's not going to be, you're not going to get filled at the best possible price no matter what. Like if you had a long here, you probably got slipped 2 to 3 times here on a live account because this is a much bigger bearish candle here. And then there's one more thing I want to talk about. Oh yeah, in terms of liquidity, right? So not just your slippage, right, and your stop loss potential, but also entries. So especially on Forex, if you're trading Forex, I don't, but if you trade Forex, spread is going to be much better during kill zones than outside. So huge difference there over the long run for your risk reward. But also on futures, even though futures, there's no spread in a sense, you still will get filled at a worse price if there's not enough liquidity, depending on your position size. So like, for example, for me, there'd be times where my position is not going to get filled at that exact price. So like, for example, I would have my limit order slightly above from where I want to enter. Or if I'm taking a market order, it's going to enter me slightly above. Let's say I want to buy, it's going to enter me slightly higher on my average fill price because it's filling multiple contracts at once. And then if I want to sell, it's going to fill me lower, like down here, for example, instead of where I want to be filled. So that's the main reason. Again, it's not you're not going to worry about or care about liquidity at all on demo accounts if you guys are trading prop firms. But once you transition to live, you do need to care about stuff like this. So a few more things to care about, but I truly believe you should have a personal account if you want to consider yourself a true trader because it builds a very nice track record. And not just that, but ultimately money. So it's a lot easier to compound a personal account than prop firms. Prop firms have a lot of restrictions, a lot of rules you have to abide by, and all these other cycles, right? So it's much easier to compound a personal account. You have full access and control to your entire account and do what you want. That does not mean, by the way, no risk management. Completely false. My risk management is much stricter on a personal account. But remember, in the beginning, personal accounts, quick recommendation for you guys, you can scale. So if you start off with a personal account, you don't have, let's say, too much money, you can risk a little bit higher in terms of percentage as you're growing it initially. But once your account gets to like a big, decent size, you de-risk your percent. So there's less chance of you making emotional decisions. That's kind of like the main reason why you de-risk the percent. It's not that mathematically you're going to lose more money. Well, you are going to lose more money mathematically for each trade you lose, but it's more of a psychology thing to keep your stats leveled and balanced. You know what I mean? Because if your psychology's off, your stats are gonna be off, and that mathematically actually does lead to worse P&L. Okay, so okay. We think we have questions in the chat. How many hours is the course? And is it possible to trade completely by ourselves after completing it? Yeah, it's completely possible to trade completely by yourself. You don't need my personal guidance. I post my trade ideas in the Discord for the course members. Some of you guys use this Confluence. Some of you guys just copy my trades. That's kind of up to you how you want to take it. I think you should build independence though. And that's what I preach to the members, because at the end of the day, your full-time trading is your goal, right? And full-time trading requires full independence and not rely on someone else for your income. So yeah, it's 100% possible to trade yourself without like the Discord at all if you just want to do that after complete a course, because the course is very mechanical. I explain basically the reasons as to every single potential outcome and situation, and exactly when to use which PYs are less likely to hit, which TPs are less likely to hit, when to use which type of TPs, because I have different ways of managing my system. Same with the break-even methods. There's a lot of things you can really implement into the system, but I teach everything A to Z in the course, really. Like hours, it's 57 hours. So that may sound like a lot right now, but it's because of also all the trade recaps. So I think the main section is about 20 hours. So I have the course split up into 4 sections. Section 1 is the master my strategy and system. I think it's like about 23 hours-ish. And then the second section is psychology. The third section is data collection, journaling, and things of that nature, and some additional bonus concepts. That part is not too important. Sorry, I meant the third section is the advanced concepts and bonus content. That's not too important, that section. I think it's like 10 hours only. The second section is the psychology, data collection, journaling, backtesting, how to optimize. I have tons of videos helping you guys collect your data, how to do it properly, how to save yourself time in your trading journey to shorten the learning curve. I don't want you guys taking too many different paths and getting confused. I have a specific roadmap and outline I want you guys to follow, and just follow my outline and give you, because you'll be profitable if you just follow that and stick to it and be disciplined. Otherwise, you're going to go off on many different paths, and that's going to delay your time to profitability. I want you guys to become as profitable as fast as possible, and don't just filter out the BS, right? That's the point of the course, is filtering out all the BS and getting straight to what's important. And then the last section is just basic trade recaps. I have recorded sessions of backtesting in there for those that want to see like mainly how I collect my data. There's full raw backtesting sessions there. Those are optional, of course, but you can just use the data. You can just go to the end if you want. If you don't have much time for the backtest sessions, just go to the end. I have the backtest results like once we complete the raw data. So you can just do that as well for the backtesting. You don't have to sit through all of it, but yeah, section 1 is the most important thing. It's about 20 hours. Or need to follow your direction on Discord. You don't need to follow my direction on Discord. Like I said, it's just trade ideas. You use me as a confluence for your trading. So however you want to do that, that's up to you. Because I've seen like a lot of times I'll post my trade idea and some members don't even see the trade idea and they're already in the trade. So like there'll be times where I get DMs from either private mentorship students or course members. They're like, yo, I check in with them, especially private mentorship students. I like to check in every single day to see how you traded, green, red, how you can fix that, things to improve, optimize. Even if you have a green day, I want to work with you to see how you can better optimize your trading in terms of maximizing your returns on winning trades. Because to be honest, what a lot of people preach online, which is see green, take profit, that's not true, right? That's going to make you have negative risk reward. And you want to make sure your winners are equal, if not more than, or 2 to 3 times more than at least your losing trades. It's going to be a lot easier to have a higher EV in terms of the statistical side, because with a 1-to-1 risk reward, you can use my calculator, by the way, for those who are wondering. I'll send a link to the calculator. Let me see if this works with the bot. I don't think it works. I'll send a link to the calculator if you're interested. to check out and put in your EV, and you can even post what your EV is of your strategy in there in the chat. But essentially, with a 1-to-1 risk reward, you have a cap on your EV. So a 70% win rate at 1-to-1 is a 0.40 EV. So it's only 0.40. You can't go higher than that at a 1-to-1. If you increase the win rate to 80% at 1-to-1 risk reward, it's going to be 0.60 EV, which is nonetheless is still, not even close to 1.6. As you can see, power of high risk reward, because high risk reward scales exponentially, unlike win rate, which is more linear scaling. And then if you do 90% win rate, I believe it's at 0.80. I can check that right now. I'm pretty sure it's at 0.80. Yeah, so 90% win rate at 1-to-1 is at 0.80 EV, which is half of my EV here. So you can even, if you want to call it equivalent, my EV is basically 180% win rate at 1-to-1. But obviously that's not logically how that works in trading, because you can just full pour every trade. But you get the point, right? You just have a much better to build buffer room in case of human error, human mistakes. I even made a mistake on like this day, for example. I still came out very green, unlike most traders that make a few mistakes and you end your week red. You don't want to trade a strategy system where the buffer room for EV is very small, because if you make like 1 or 2 mistakes that are psychological, emotional, technical mistakes, it's a lot harder to recover and end your day or week very green, or even month, because you don't have a big buffer room. Right? You basically, if you're trading a system with like a 0.20 EV, after commission and spread, it's going to be basically break even. So that's why I recommend 0.40. You give yourself wiggle and buffer room to account for spread, commissions, slippage, things of that nature. And also, of course, for your time. You don't want to trade a system that only makes 5% returns a month, or let's not say 8%. Let's focus on risk reward, because that's more accurate. Because you can risk, like, someone can risk 5% per trade and make obviously like a lot more returns a month. But yeah, you don't want to trade a system that just makes $5 a month, even though it's green, because think about it. If you make 2 to 3 emotional mistakes, you're only up 3 risk reward, and you're spending a lot of time day trading, right? It's like 2 to 3 hours a day. So for me, I usually trade 3 hours a day. There's times where I will end my session within a few minutes. Like this day, I ended my session here within a few minutes. It was just one banger and I was off the charts. Other times I'll go to sleep while I'm in a trade. So if I'm trading late in sessions like this, for example, 2 a.m., I'll have my trade, limit order, everything. My analysis is already done. I'm just waiting for myself to get filled in an order, and I just go to sleep. So I just set this trade and I just go to sleep, and I wake up to a TP or a stop loss. So either you sleep through your trades, it's not an issue really, as long as you do your work ahead of time. There's no difference. Whether you stay at the chart while you're in a trade or sleep through your trade, there's no difference. It's not going to impact the outcome of your trade after you manage to break even, or if you have even a trade management system. The most difficult for me is that I have like 4 years of classical charting principles, which concepts doesn't work well in day trading futures. It's been hard to adapt myself to new concept for day trading futures. So Fader, when you join the course, just forget it. I hate to say this, but forget about everything you learned. Okay. If you want to think about it this way, I assume you're trying to join the course because you're not profitable. If you're already profitable, I guess you don't even need the course. You can just do what you're doing now. I assume you're not profitable. So if you think about it, you spend 4 years learning this stuff. I know it sucks, but if you spend 4 years learning something and it still doesn't work live, you should just remove it completely. Just throw it out the window, throw it in the trash, because it's obviously not working, right? You can't fix something that doesn't work. Albert Einstein said it best: delusion is doing the same mistakes over and over again, or same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That's why a lot of people stay unprofitable for so many years. You're doing the same thing, thinking it's gonna work. It's not. So I recommend once you join the course or mentorship, man, please just try your best, clear everything out the gutter in your brain. Just focus on what I teach you. I'm not too sure, honestly, on what that is. Edwards and Maggie. I assume that's like old school technical analysis. It's probably like patterns, like trend line flags. That's what it looks like. But yeah, I don't really use that stuff. It just doesn't work. It works very well for stocks and crypto swing trading, but absolutely not on futures. So to me, it doesn't make too much sense, because at least from my backtesting, when I was backtesting my strategy and live trading across multiple assets, my strategy works through options, futures, and forex markets. So it's like pretty diverse. It works basically through any market. I think it's because I don't know the EV of your strategy. If you could let me know that, I assume it's probably not like very high. So that could account for the variance in the different markets. They're not exactly the same. Not saying they're exact same, but a system should kind of be pretty good. If it's a good optimized system, it should work across every market. But I'm seeing you say swing trading, so makes sense. It's probably something more long-term. So yeah, for sure. If it works properly long-term, keep trading what you're trading on the swing trading section with that strategy. I'm not too familiar with it. Keep trading that. And then for day trading, don't trade that and trade what I teach you. And so this way you can leverage both knowledge, right? I think that's a really good actually way to trade. You can leverage your long-term swing trading strategies on one end, and then you leverage the day trading strategy, which is my strategy on the other hand. You can make money on both sides, right? So for example, how I view long-term trading or investing is you can even think of it as this. You have a small red day, let's say my -1, -2 risk reward day, right? Day trading, again, I'm not going to have 100% green days. 80% of my days are statistically ending green, 20% are red, but my green days are much bigger than my red, as you can obviously see. Sometimes you only have 2 risk reward, but for the most part, they're much bigger. But you can think of it as you can use your swing trading strategy as a leverage to kind of build a buffer for your red days in day trading. Well, that's a 1.2 EV from a calculator. That's really good. Most strategies aren't even profitable. So yeah, that's really good. That's not bad then. Depends on frequency. If the frequency is very low, then yeah, you're not gonna be able to make much money with the strategy that has very low frequency unless you risk a lot higher, which you can leverage risk as a tool to make more money. But yeah, it's not bad, man. 1.2, unless you mean 0.20, but 1.2 is solid. So it's not bad. Just basically trade that and then trade my day trading strategy for day trading. That's my recommendation. And then I think we had another question. Never mind, we don't. We have a new vote. We have. Dude, the channel is looking good. I'm guessing you guys are learning a lot from my videos. We have 60% of people, 3 out of 5 saying they're already a profitable trader. Much better than what you see statistically online from all this BS stuff you learn online. 90% fail, 10% are green. We got 60% of people green here. Now, it's only 5 votes, but still good to see, man. 3 people green are profitable here and 2 people are red, and that's okay. You know, it's okay. Sorry, it's not okay. Why am I saying it's okay? It's not okay to be unprofitable. You are doing something wrong. So a lot of people are saying it's okay to be unprofitable. It's actually not, because if you're unprofitable, you're losing money. So in order to fix that, you need to take action and change what you're doing. If you keep on doing the same, I'm telling you guys, this is why I spent like the first 3 months of my trading journey before I was profitable. And I was stuck in a cycle because I kept on trying the same thing over and over again, and it just never worked. And I just wasted 3 months until I stuck to truly one system. And before I even stuck to the system, I learned everything and went immediately to backtest. If you don't go backtest immediately, you're wasting your time. Stop trying to continuously learn something and dig deep into it until you at least do some backtesting to verify it at least has some sort of small edge, you know? I gotta go now. Jay, thanks for sharing all this. See you soon on Private Discord. Appreciate it, man. I'll see you, Fader. Have a good one. We have 5 people watching. Okay, so a few more things I want to go over. Real quick, Ashley, before you leave or before anyone leaves. So I'm gonna have this. I know there's only 5 people watching. By the time this goes on YouTube, the spots are probably filled up, but here's a code you guys want to use if you're interested in a course. I'm going over all trades I've taken today here, or sorry, this week. But here's the code. So use code ETUVIP100. Let me know if it doesn't work. It should work. It only applies to the advanced course. So if you want to get the course, use this code. If you want a separate code for the one-on-one mentorship, I don't really have a code at the moment for that. The value that's in the mentorship, that's going to be the price you're paying, $5K. So I don't plan on really reducing that price ever. I don't think it's going to have a coupon code for that. But for the people that are interested in the course, here's the code. Just use ETUVIP100. It's $100 off of it. Expires in 40 hours and is limited spots. So as soon as the spots fill up or 40 hours goes by, the code is going to be invalid. So use that code. I'll post the code real quick in the chat here. Again, this is exclusively for people that are here today, okay? So if you're here today, you can take advantage before spots fill up. Otherwise, don't spread the code everywhere. You're just gonna do yourself a disservice. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this stream. I'm gonna end this in like a few minutes here. There's one more thing I want to go over before I end it. But the reason why I'm providing you guys here specifically this code is because you guys are showing intent to me that you are actually serious about trading. You know, a lot of people that watch my YouTube videos, they might be skimming through these that nature. They're probably just rewatching, or maybe for entertainment purposes. They're very lazy. They're not attending things like this. They're not taking trading seriously. I don't really want to help people out that are not really serious about trading. I know that people that are serious in trading, that have the right mindset, they actually want to become profitable, you're going to do much, much, much better and become profitable much faster than those that take the course but were not really interested in trading in the first place. Because again, you need to have passion for trading. The reason why I got into trading was not because of money. I know a lot of you guys are probably now getting into trading because of money purposes. I'm not saying that's a bad reason. It's a good reason, but the reason why I started that fueled the fire in me was really because of passion. I was really interested. Ever since I opened an account back then, when I started trading years ago, I just really got interested in the markets. As soon as I opened a chart, I was just honestly profound, like, how are these markets moving? Who's moving the markets? Why is the market bouncing here? Why is it not bouncing here? Why is it rejecting here? Why is it not working here? Why are these patterns showing up? Why are these patterns not working also? It got me literally thinking deep about markets, and that's how I truly ended up developing my own system, because 50% is through online education. The other 50% of my system is complete from experience, because I teach strategies in the course that you will not find online because I pirated the video. So again, the video is obviously pirated now. You won't be able to see it ever again. But there's that. Last thing before I end today's session, guys, for you guys here. Again, you can join the free Discord if you just want to check out what else I have to offer in there. But last week we made 43 years reward. I already went over this. This week is not a good. Just know that not every week in your trading is going to be the same. There's two reasons as to why not every week is going to be the same. Number one is market variance. So this can be from technical, fundamental factors, other influences, but essentially the market's obviously not going to move the exact same every single day. It moves out the same foundation and principles, but price delivery is not going to be entirely the same. You have chop here, doesn't mean we're going to chop next week. When I say fundamentals, something like this, Trump news, he planned on firing Powell. He literally said this, and as soon as he said this, market tanked, went against me. Things like this I cannot control. These things you just need to keep in the back of mind if you want a logical reasoning as to why not every week your results are going to be the same. But I do believe that you should have at least end your green. You should at least end your month green in trading. So as long as you're ending your month green in trading, don't worry about the day-to-day trading. As long as you're sticking to your system, trading it correctly, not making emotional random trades, it's a green day to me in my books. Use the rule-based P&L calendar if you really want to be disciplined. It's on the WAP. It's under the free Discord access plus more. It's a link. You can make your own copy of it. And it's a way to track your discipline rate instead of just based on your P&L, right? You don't want to trade based on your P&L. Trade based on your system, right? Stick to your system. Next thing really is just your decision-making skills. Like I said, emotions, taking random trades. I made one emotional mistake and a technical mistake this week. So the technical mistake was basically I basically went against my daily bias indicator and also the trend as well on this day. So yeah, there's some mistakes I did make this week. You gotta hold yourself accountable. I'm not perfect. I'm not a robot. You guys should know I'm not a robot. Otherwise, why am I here talking to you guys and answering questions? I could be a robot. Who knows? Anyway, I'm done trolling. But basically, keep this stuff in mind next time you're trading. Recommend you guys journal your trades. If you're trying to trade full-time, journal your entire first year of full-time trading. After that, you can chill and lay back on the journaling and save yourself time to just enjoy the freedom that you get. Financial, location, time freedom. So hope you guys do enjoy today's little session here. I went over a good amount of trades. It's about like an hour session, about to end here. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. Join the free Discord, and I'm hope to see you guys in there. So yeah, again, for those that missed it, quick flash, boom, code there if you want to get the course, $100 off. This is literally the lowest price I've ever have. I've released it ever since. There's no price lower than this ever. It expires in 40 hours, limited spots, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. If you guys want to see more like free educational streams like these, like once in a while, let me know in the Discord. Just leave a like. Yeah, just leave a like on the video. It'll show me that you guys are more interested in these videos, and I'll try my best to do these when I have